This is a follow-on from the first and second videos of this series, so if you haven't watched the first and second videos in their correct order, I strongly recommend you do, before watching this video. This is a summary of the NDE, and some of the myths and false religious teachings. The soul is a processing terminal, a component of a huge network, involving the processing system of life. In the Gospel according to John, chapter 14, verse 1, quote, "Let not your heart be troubled, ye believe in God, believe also in me." The word me refers to the life of God, that is to say, the real self, and not the body of Jesus, as claimed in religious teachings. Verse 2, quote, "In my Father's house are many mansions, if it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you." Note, a mansion is a large dwelling. So, we have mansions in the house of God. Verse 3, quote, "And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again, and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also." The one who is returning is not Jesus, but the Son of Man, the core processor. It is false teaching to say the Son of Man is Jesus. Let's take a look at some of the biblical writings, and see what they have to say about the life of God, or the light of man. So, starting with probably the least understood, and most misrepresented, by religious teachings. Written in the Gospel according to John in chapter 1, verses 1 to 5, describes God. Verse 1. Quote, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." Most reading this verse overlook the word with. I am referring to, quote, "and the Word was with God." As you can see, this tells us there were two words in the beginning. What is this other word, as the scribes have removed it from the scriptures, in order to conceal the truth? Note, it is written in the Gospel of Thomas, rejected by the Roman Church canon, who also try to conceal the truth, quote, verse 39. Jesus said, "The Pharisees and the scribes have taken the keys of knowledge, and hidden them. They themselves have not entered, nor have they allowed to enter, those who wish to." How would the Pharisees, who were strict religious leaders, have their scribes do this? Simply, by changing the ancient manuscripts. The first word is INZ, which cannot be vocalized, as it is a geometric algorithm, involving the root of everything, from the Zion language, the language of life, which is not Hebrew. The I represents the first concept of movement to and fro in one dimension. The N represents the to and fro simultaneously, in two dimensions, and the Z is a rotation of the N, representing the second concept, rotation. Verse 2. Quote, "The same was in the beginning with God." Here again, using the word with, indicating the other word, that was with, the word God, not a person, but another geometric algorithm. To understand the word God, we need to go back through the Ion Greek language, which is closest to the Zion language. The key lays in the form of the letters, not the word translation. So, in the word God, the G is replaced by the Greek letter gamma. The O is retained, being omicron, and the D is replaced by the Greek delta. The Greek gamma came out of the square in the Zion language, the Greek omicron is a copy of the Zion circle, and the Greek delta came from the delta star in the Zion language. These three Zion letters form a six-pointed star inside a circle, inside a square. Verse 3 is self-explanatory. Verse 4. Quote, "In him was life, and the life was the light of men." Note, it is not written. In him was Jesus, and Jesus was the light of men. So, the life of God is the light of man, not Jesus. Verse 5. Quote, "And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended not." Guess why the human species is unable to understand? In my next video of this series, I will reveal more religious myths concerning God and the light of man.